Love him or hate him, one thing is for sure, changes are ahead. Donald Trump officially takes office today, and he has made claims that he is going to save our real estate market. So what does that mean for our real estate market, and how will a new president impact housing affordability? Hi, I'm Sarah Maslowski with KeyPoint Homes Group, a local real estate agent right here in Northeast Metro Atlanta area, and I help clients from all over relocate right here to Georgia. As we enter a new year with a new president, can we expect drastic changes in the housing market? Well, not so fast. During the election season, Trump did not share a formal policy plan on improving housing affordability, but a spokesperson for Trump's team, Taylor Rogers, said Trump would end the housing affordability crisis during his upcoming term. They also said, quote, President Trump will deliver on his promise to make housing affordable again by defeating historic inflation and reducing the mortgage rate. President Trump will ban mortgages for illegal immigrants who drive up the price of housing, eliminate federal regulations driving up housing costs, open portions of federal land with ultra-low taxes, and regulations for large-scale housing construction. The cost of new homes will be cut in half, and President Trump will end the housing affordability crisis. Let's start with those mortgage rates. Now, we know that there are so many factors that go into mortgage rates, so I know that we're not single-handedly going to see him be able to lower that. Ultimately, what would help with affordability is obviously those lower mortgage interest rates. Currently, at the time of filming this video, the first full week of January in 2025, interest rates are sitting right at 6.9% for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. That is nearing the all-time highs that we've had over the past few years. The job reports just came out for the end of 2024, and they were much stronger than expected, and the unemployment rate was lower. So all of this sounds like it would be great information for the economy, right? And that's a good thing. Unfortunately, what this actually means is that we will likely not see a cut in interest rates as they had planned, which impacts mortgage rates. The economy is doing very well. People have jobs. These are all good things, except this leads to more inflation, and the Fed will not lower interest rates, which means it's still going to be expensive to buy a house. There were ideas that we would see lower interest rates come this spring back in September. You can go back to a few months ago and watch some of my videos where economists were predicting that we were going to see several rate cuts this year, and we were going to see a slight dip in the interest rates for the first time in a while. But it's now looking like we will not experience lower rates, but rather we may continue to see rates go up, if not push into the 7% range. I saw someone predicting 8% by spring, but I haven't seen enough data yet to support that. So what does this mean for you as a consumer? Well, obviously, a house payment is going to be more expensive. Because of these higher rates, you would expect to see less competition in the housing market. But so far, we've had a huge influx of folks who are looking to buy a home in 2025, and signs are pointing that consumers are starting to accept this new normal in the housing market. Despite high interest rates, home prices have remained relatively stable, in many areas steadily appreciating, especially here in the Metro Atlanta area. With home buyers accepting the fact that home prices are not going to get any better, many are taking the approach of get in while you can. While I would love to see Trump be able to influence mortgage rates, I just don't see that happening. Trump has stated that he will ban mortgages for illegal immigrants, preventing them from driving up housing prices. Now, let's take a closer look at this. If you are currently undocumented, your options for getting a mortgage are extremely limited, if not impossible. Traditional lenders, they're not going to lend you the money because you don't have a social security number and verifiable proof of employment. You gotta have both. There are a handful of lenders that offer ITIN loans, which is based off a taxpayer identification number. However, these are considered high-risk loans, and therefore the lender is going to require a much higher down payment and charge a lot higher of an interest rate. Both of those things combined are not conducive to more people buying homes. For most, the combination of these two factors make it almost impossible. Finally, undocumented workers can seek out private mortgage loans, which again are going to require a hefty substantial down payment and an extremely high interest rate. That leaves the final option of paying cash. So between these three home buying options for illegal immigrants, none are cost effective or practical, and therefore eliminating these options is akin to saying, I don't know, like public school teachers are no longer able to gain access to private ultra wealthy clubs. Most couldn't afford that regardless. I just don't see this moving the needle at all. Trump's statement also promises to eliminate federal regulations driving up housing costs. Now, this is one that could be very promising. Trump's promise of rolling back regulations could lead to eliminating barriers to new construction building, leading to more supply, which could also help with lowering building costs. A 2021 study from the National Association of Home Builders found that regulation accounts for almost or nearly $93,000 of a typical new home's final price. So we definitely know that in today's pricing, that has to be much higher. However, a lot of regulations that impact the costs, they're created at a local level, something in the past that Trump has promised to stay out of. Now, I have to wonder, even if Trump could ultimately eliminate federal regulations leading to builders being able to build at lower costs, do we think that these builders are going to pass along those savings to you? Who knows? Next on Trump's promise is to open up federal land for building with ultra-low taxes. Now, this idea seems very intriguing, and it's actually one that Kamala also endorsed as well. One key factor leading to America's housing troubles are partly due to years of chronic underbuilding after the housing crisis in 2008. Building more homes is desperately needed. The federal government owns almost 28% of the land in the US. So where is this federal land that could be available for building? Well, a majority of it is out west. Lots of federal land is unsuitable for residential construction, and the places where the government owns the most land, particularly in the West, are not always near areas with the biggest housing needs, or they often lack basic infrastructure like roads, sewers, grocery stores, churches, schools. You know, essentially, we would be building a new town. In order for this idea to have an impact on the housing market, the new homes would need to be in markets that are already unaffordable and lack supply. Finally, Trump has promoted deporting millions of illegal immigrants and imposing tariffs. Although not explicitly stated in his campaign promises for the housing market, both of these things could have a huge impact. First, undocumented immigrants play a huge role in the housing construction industry. This could severely undercut the desperate need for new home construction and the builders' ability to get houses off the ground. Trump's threat of broad-based tariffs, which some economists warn could reignite inflation, may keep interest rates high and therefore mortgage rates elevated. In fact, part of why mortgage rates have increased after the election was the market's anticipation and reaction of a Trump administration and their promise of tariffs. We are already feeling that effect today in the housing market, and it's doing the opposite of what Trump wants. Consumers are paying more each month. So where do we go from here? A lot, and I mean a lot, remains to be seen in the coming weeks, months, and years. My best hope is that some of this is hyperbole and bombastic speech. I'm hopeful that a Trump administration will lead to more favorable terms for businesses, and that trickles down to a strong economy and inflation is in a place where it's managed. I don't think a new president is going to cause a major shift in home affordability, and likely based on our current economy, it will only get more expensive to buy a house. At least we know home prices and values will remain steady. Great news. I know that this is not the information that we want to hear, but it seems to be our current reality. However, life still happens. People are getting married, babies are born, divorces happen, deaths occur. So there's always going to be a need for a change and a supply of homes on the market. If competition stays low because of these high prices, this can be very beneficial for buyers who still need to make a move. Of course, if you are looking to make a move to Georgia here in 2025, I want to be your real estate agent. I'm going to continue to make these videos to keep you up to date on what the current market conditions are like throughout the Northeast Metro, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I would love to help you make a move here, and if you are interested in making a move, you can reach me at the pinned link in the comment below. We do a live stream on the first and third Wednesday of every single month where we talk about what's going on here locally and answer your questions, so make sure you tune into that. And for more information about what's currently happening in the real estate market here in Georgia, make sure you watch this video next.